Hello. My face looks so dry right now, but it's okay. This angle is not flattering whatsoever, but we gonna make it work. Anyway, welcome back to Sunny Talks. My name is Nemo. These days I've been going by Nemo. Honestly, it's a lot easier, mainly because of the fact that my name, there are so many different pronunciations depending on who's saying it. And I'm not mad about, there's only two pronunciations that I really respond to, which is Nyamoj, which is how you pronounce it, and then Nimash, which I also think is absolutely gorgeous. But I just need to get that out of the way because, you know, whenever I say my name, it's like, it's a problem depending on whoever's listening to it. So, hey, welcome back to Sunny Talks. This is Nemo, Nyamoj, Nimash Teddy. And as the title probably gives it away, the topic for today, honestly, is stop making excuses. And this is really like me talking to myself, but talking to anybody out there that needs to hear it as well. I'm sorry, this angle is not great, honestly, and I'm filming this at about pretty much 20 to 11 p.m. right now. I was literally getting ready for bed about 2.5 hours ago. Literally right just past 8 p.m. I was ready to sleep, and then I don't know, it just kind of passed after like an hour of constantly getting up to pee. And then I was like, you know what? Well, if I can't sleep, let me try to read. You know, normally reading makes me fall asleep. But then I started reading this book. Okay, I actually got to put you guys on for real because it's actually really good. One sec. So this past weekend, I went to a book signing for this author named Fadwa Yusuf, and this book is called Going the Distance, No Parts Left Behind. And yeah, she's from Kitchener-Waterloo, and it's honestly just a very inspiring woman that I met about a year ago, probably less than a year ago actually. But funny enough, when I started reading it, you know, I'm probably like 40 pages, 30 pages deep right now. But I started reading it, and why am I getting inspired? Why are my juices flowing? Why am I, you know, there's so many deep questions that she started with. This girl started talking about, not this girl, let me not refer to her as this girl. This beautiful woman actually just started coming strong. Let me even just, you know, put you on some game real quick. But some of the questions that she was asking from jump were, what would you want to create knowing nothing is stopping you? I put sorry, you can't really see it because I covered it up. But yes, I really don't like writing and marking up like books, but I feel like I get the most from it when I actually do. Like, I started reading, my book of the month last month is this one, the Fifth Agreement. And I read the first one, which was called the Four Agreements. Absolutely an incredible book. That was the book that actually got me into reading. But this book, I didn't even take no notes. I was just kind of reading to read. And I felt like, I don't know, it was really hard to get through. But yeah, so I find that whenever I actually like mark up, write in my books and, you know, take notes, use sticky notes, I get so much more from it. So that's what I'm starting to do. But yes, let's go through a couple of the questions, some things that I highlighted. She said, knowing that time will deliver what you spent. English, my goodness, give me 1 second. Let me start again. Knowing that time will deliver what you spend time on, what would you focus on? Question. Another one. Let me see. What else? Other questions I really like. Did I really just miss all of them? Now this one. If you knew this for certain, how would you live? How would your life be different today? What if you knew for sure that you are abundantly wealthy in all areas of your life? If you knew this for certain, how would your life be different today? And I honestly highlighted this section right here. And this section talks about everything you want, including the version of yourself you aspire to be already exists. The version of you that wants wealth is already here. The version of you that wants to connect with your soulmate is already here. The version of you that wants to contribute is here. These versions of you already exist. What if you knew that the version of yourself that is successful in both your personal and professional life is already here? It's already here. And honestly, I'm gonna stop there because just get the book. You know what I mean? Like, get the book. It's absolutely great. Anyway, literally free promos out here. But I honestly anyway, so I didn't even mean to give her a free promo, but honestly, huge shout out to her. Congratulations if you ever watched this video. By the way, you were very inspiring. And I'm getting so much from this book already. I mean, listen, you got me filming at 11 p.m. at night, in my roughest state. You know what I mean? Literally my roughest state. My face is breaking out. It has not breaking out this bad in so long. My face it's so dry. Talk to me about hydration, people. Please, please, please. Anyway, yeah, so I was just here, and so I couldn't sleep. So I picked up the book, started reading, got inspired. Then I was like, all right, let me try to go back to sleep and, you know, maybe just meditate on it. You know, I wasn't gonna, normally I'll go through the questions or any questions that I come up with. But she had so many questions in that book herself at the beginning in the first chapter. So, normally I would go through it, but it's late. It normally takes me about 30 minutes to an hour to deep dive, do some deep work, and, you know, ask myself those personal questions. So my thought process was, let me try to sleep now, or, you know, I'll just meditate on it and maybe, you know, have some nice dreams about my higher self and showing up as such. Then as I was kind of, you know, just processing things as I'm laying down, I realized, you know, one of the questions was, how does your higher self show up? And truthfully, I feel like even when I was reading this, sometimes a tough question or a tough thing to process is, how do you know when your highest self is showing up for you or speaking to you or whatever that means? And honestly, I connect my higher self with being in alignment with, you know, God's purpose for my life. And so I also think, you know, for me personally, my faith and my belief system, and, you know, my belief that God sent his only son, you know, to save us from our sins and everything. And he is the savior and my whole everything, you know. So for me, my faith is so much stronger than anything. However, my habits are not as strong, and that's something that I'm learning and realizing too. But yeah, so I'm laying down and I'm like, man, what are the things that my higher self does, and how does she show up? And one of those things was, what you mean? I'm a speaker. I like to chat. Not only that, but I've like anybody and everybody, honestly, I feel like I've experienced so many things in my short time on this earth, gratefully so. But there's so many things that I've learned that I feel like for me, I'm still processing, but I think a lot of other people are also going through similar things that I have gone through or currently going through, you know? And for a very long time, I thought that I had to go through it in order to talk about it, if that makes sense. But I also think it's okay to constantly keep going through it and still talk about it, if that makes sense. So this is me just honestly really confronting myself, and confronting you. Like, what is it that's stopping you, like, what from doing what you need to do? What is that one thing that you've been whenever I do this, it looks like I have like one of the, what is it called? You know, I don't have, it seems as if I don't have hair on the top of my head, like it's just on the sides. Like it's actually kind of funny, but I'm probably gonna look back at this and be like, what the heck's wrong with me? Why did I post it? But you know, whatever. Anyway, so I even took notes. I started taking notes, and one of the things is with me, like I love note taking. Oh, I love it. I really, really enjoy it. But I get into this space of it becomes a gateway, and another excuse to not do what I need to do because I don't have the perfect script or whatever it may be. Yet I probably have over hundreds of scripts that I have already written, you know, just not put out. So as I was writing the script, because for me, I was like, you know what? Again, with the excuses, as I'm writing notes about making excuses, I'm literally creating an excuse within itself. And that excuse was, you know, I'm going to write the script and then film tomorrow. And as I was going through, I'm like, what's stopping me from just picking up the camera right now and filming myself? And, you know, obviously what was going through my head was, I don't have makeup on. I'm not presentable. I'm not, the lighting isn't great. It's too late. Like, I don't have a script. I don't have a mic. What else? Like, I don't have the proper space. I'm literally, man, I'm laying in bed right now. You feel me? Like, it's actually insane the amount of excuses that we make that stop us from getting and doing the things that we really need to do. And I want to say, I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of myself. I'm tired of myself, and I'm tired of the excuses that I make. And honestly, one of the things that irritates me the most, and honestly, I'm probably a hypocrite for this because I do it myself in terms of making excuses, but I hate hearing excuses. I'm not really one to really say the excuses. Like, I don't really say it out loud, but the amount of excuses that I make to myself is absolutely ridiculous, to be completely honest. And I've just started to confront myself. And I think that's one of the most important things you can do is confront yourself. When you make an excuse, where's that excuse coming from? What is actually stopping you from doing the thing that's on the other side of the excuse? Like, what is it for real? What's stopping you? And a lot of, like, again, for me, like, there's so many things. For example, this long overdue video, man, there's probably so many drafts, so many freaking scripts and probably videos I even have on my phone, on my camera, that I have just not released. Like, at what point are you gonna get up and just do what you gotta do and let it out there? And at this book signing that I was at yesterday, there was an older woman who's close to her 50s now, and incredible, beautiful voice, very powerful, confident Black woman. And she was telling me, she was like, yes, like you're in your mid-20s and time is on your side right now, but it's not on your side for long. And she is so right. And if you're in your 20s, early 20s, late 20s, whatever it is, there's going to come to a point where you blink and you wake up, you blink and you blink and you open your eyes, and it's 10 years later. So what do you have to show for it? And honestly, for me, for the last 5 years, I've been dragging my feet when it comes to just posting on YouTube and sharing my experiences because of my fear of being vulnerable. Man. And it's funny because I'm on here right now, and I'm so proud of myself, and that's a word that I've started to use so often to just encourage me, but also give myself credit and grace for the things and the steps that I've taken along my journey. Because I'm the type of person that honestly, most goals that I've had in the past that I have accomplished, they were accomplished through mindlessly focusing on the destination rather than the journey. And now that I'm actually starting to focus on this journey, enjoy every second of it, and just like appreciate the little wins, it's beautiful. And it's sad that it's taken me this long to really appreciate the journey, you know? And another thing that this woman said to me yesterday was, she told me, she was like, she told me, you have to have a sense of urgency. And I'm telling you this as well, whoever's watching this, you have to have a sense of urgency. I don't care how old you are. You could be 15, 25, 35, 45, 60. Have a sense of urgency. We only get one chance in this life. And one other thing that really stood out to me too is she told me that with that sense of urgency, act and move as if you only have 3 years to live. Yes, it's kind of crazy to think, but like for real, if you only had 3 years to live, what would you be doing? What do you have to show for it after those 3 years? And you know, that pause was for myself because I'm starting to really think about it myself. Like, what do I have to show for you know, in 3 years? And one of those things is I honestly don't want to have no more regrets or what ifs if I had started posting consistently 5 years ago when I was, I don't know how old I was, 25. Wait, what? Oh my gosh. Sorry. That's actually crazy. That's actually very funny. Not funny at all. But yeah, like when I started this at 21, like what do I have to show for it? And will I have to show for it another 3 to 5 years from now? God willing, I get those times, those years. But honestly, and another thing that I'm learning is, man, the closer I get to God, and the more and more I really focus on my relationship with him and my faith, man, the louder and more annoying the devil becomes. I'm telling you, the devil is a liar. He's the biggest of them all. Don't let him get in the way of your success, your destination, your purpose either. Because there are so many times that I've started to just progressively align with the things that I need to do and the person that I know I am and my higher self, and something somehow constantly stops me or pulls me in a different direction. And that is Shaitan. Oh, and I rebuke it. And he'll show up in many different forms through people, your loved ones even, your friends, your family, your everything. Especially with social media too. My goodness, it's scary these days. And I honestly, I pray that you just take the time to appreciate what you have in front of you, the people that you have in front of you, but also understand that, man, life is good. And it really is what you make of it, for real. Like on everything, for real, for real. And it's so funny, as I'm filming right now, I'm looking at my script and I'm like, did I go through every, and I didn't even go through what I wrote down, for real. I didn't. And I think that's okay. That's another thing that I'm really working on, and I encourage you to do is just do it. Just do it and correct yourself as you go. That's one thing I'm learning too. Like, there's so many little things that, it's always the little things. It really always is the little things, for real. But anyway, that is going to be the end of this video, because I've been chit-chatting a little too long. And I really do like looking at myself, but I'm not in this state right now. My goodness gracious. I'm like, anyway, I'll just leave you with this, though. This question, what is it? What's the excuse this time? I want you to deep dive with those excuses that you're creating for yourself and figure out what it is and why. And then break it. Change the narrative. Change the story for yourself. And show up as your highest self. And try to connect with that as much as possible. Figure out what you want. Try to align with your purpose. Focus on the small things every single day and appreciate and have grace for yourself as well. But stop making excuses, for real. Stop making excuses for yourself and start getting real with yourself, for real. Don't worry about the people around you, man. Honestly, I can't even remember the quote, but I saw or read this somewhere. It was, focus on yourself till the focus is on you, or something. I don't even know. I don't really know. But honestly, one thing that I really am enjoying right now in this season of my life is the focus being on me and God. Me and him are locked in right now, for real. I don't know who's watching this, but I rebuke any negativity. I renounce and denounce anything that's trying to come in my way, all right? Remove yourself. Be gone. But yeah, anyway, I really appreciate you for watching this, if you watched it all the way through. I'm really at the point, like, I think I'm gonna have to post this right now, because if I don't, it's probably gonna stay in my drafts or whatever for some time. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm already up. My goal this week was to, avoid being on my phone 2 hours before, up until bedtime. But I'm gonna make an exception, because I'm done with the excuses, honestly. I'm really tired of them, personally, for myself. So let's get into it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, bye. And keep doing you, boo.